Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to the community conversation session of our Foundations of Social Isolation training series. We are super excited to be bringing you the experts to dive into storytelling as a tool for student agency. My name is Frederick. My pronouns are they, them in English and they and a in Spanish, and I am Beyond Differences Professional Development Program Manager. Beyond Differences is a national nonprofit organization whose mission is to empower students to end social isolation and create cultures of belonging. Our goal with this storytelling conversation is to build student agency and create cultures of belonging by talking with different practitioners and organizations in the field of storytelling to learn more about how we can use storytelling to build student agency, end social isolation, and create those cultures of belonging. This is an opportunity for us to learn from you and spotlight the work that you've been doing and share it with our community. And I am super thrilled to introduce y'all to Sally Matsuishi, Beyond Differences Director of National Youth Programs. With over 20 years of nationally recognized work in education, Sally is honored to pay forward the compassion of those who came before her by serving the youth of Beyond Differences. After earning her MFA from the USC School of Film and Television, Sally began her career producing anti-racist educational programming. Wanting to be on the front lines of the fight for educational equity, Sally founded Next Generation Scholars. As its executive director, she created pathways for first generation college students into higher education, wrote anti-racist curricula, and created a BIPOC teacher training academy. These are just some of the many highlights from Sally Matsuishi's work and career, and I know that I speak for everyone at Beyond Differences when I say we all feel incredibly grateful to get to witness Sally in her incredible work with our National Teen Board. So thank you, Sally. Welcome.
So
So,
glad that I came today, and I'm super excited to talk about storytelling. So
yes, absolutely.
right
I would love, yeah, if you just want to jump in and tell us a little bit about your work over the years and your personal connection to storytelling or the storytelling space.
Okay. Storytelling is the cornerstone of everything I do and everything that I have done in education. It is the point in which students can dip a toe, dive right in, and break through the water. It is the moment where they can have that transformational experience of, I'm sitting here in my space, but I have some beautiful, beautiful thing that if I learn to share and I learn to articulate, that can connect me not just to those nearest to me, but people I've never known and places I've never been. And so in everything I do, I incorporate that storytelling element. For so many students, there is barriers to telling their stories, and whether it's patriarchy, homophobia, racism, and these things are systemic, right? So there are certain people and that feel silenced or feel that their stories don't have value. And this, as an educator, is the most important and exciting place to be, because the moment you start teaching storytelling and validating those experiences, you get to shed all of that isolation. You get to shed that otherness, and find yourself in it, find others, and then eventually uplift other students. And so in everything I do, storytelling is central, particularly at Beyond Differences. I've put it as the cornerstone. We start all of our stuff with, what's your origin story? And I use the term origin story because it relates to superheroes, because we're really looking for that connective superpower.
Ah, thank you, Sally. I love it. So, can you share with our audience a little bit more about what the National Teen Board is and how their work connects our mission of empowering students to end social isolation and create cultures of belonging?
Okay.
What is the Teen Board up to?
Imagine if you had the ability to reach out to young people across the nation and find incredible activists who each have a story, who are dying to tell it and want to use their voices to not only heal themselves, but to heal others. So I get to work with the National Teen Board. There are 46 of us now. They come from everywhere from Hawaiian homelands to the Bronx to up at Kalamazoo, Michigan, all the way down to the borderlands in Texas. And we get to sit together once a month on Zoom, although it's much more than once a month now, because they like each other and they like to hang out with each other. So I do a lot of Zoom. And we develop curriculum together. So imagine this: if you were sitting in Texas as a trans student in Texas, and you had just gone through the process of where you cannot say that you're trans in your school community, and your history won't be taught, and your books that reflect your experience won't be in your libraries. And you are feeling incredibly alone in that place. But then you could go to Beyond Differences. You could join the National Teen Board. You could connect with other activists, queer and trans activists, but also activists of all different connections and stories, all trying to foster a voice and make change. So you are no longer in your small space in Texas where you might have felt very disconnected. You could put your story with other stories, learn to build your voice, and then uplift others. That opportunity is what I get to amplify. So greatest job in the world. So what we're up to right now is we are about to release in 2 days a body positivity curriculum that has wonderful elements in it that come from the voices of the National Teen Board. Allie Newman is doing this beautiful piece on body positivity and her struggle with an eating disorder, but finding her voice and finding who she is and making a better relationship with her body, and then using what she'd learned to uplift others. We also have a really beautiful piece by Avery on colorism, what it means to be a dark-skinned Latinx woman who is trying to shed beauty standards and be able to find her own beauty. These stories, when it comes from an actual human being, another young person, are incredibly powerful. So we have the body positivities, the ones that are coming out, and we also have disability visibility that is coming out that Emily is doing, who is a hard of hearing, and just to articulate the experience of not just deafness, but how you navigate your world, how you navigate your education, how you navigate your relationships. When these stories go out through the Beyond Differences, they instantly resonate with people, because it's not like, did you know there are deaf people in your community? But it's, hi, I'm Emily. This is my hearing aid. Let me tell you what it's like for me on a Tuesday. And here are parts of my life that everybody can identify with. And here are where my challenges are. And those challenges are not just universal with deaf people, right? It's universal for anybody who's going through that middle school experience. And to see and hear Allie's story, Avery's story, Edgar's story, Brig's story, Jackie's story, there becomes this wonderful movement of stories for which everyone can identify with. So that's what the National Teen Board is doing. And I couldn't be like more honored to be a part of amplifying them.
Yeah, the National Teen Board is an incredible group of young activists, and being able to put names and faces to these stories really does humanize them in such a unique way. Um, I would love, Sally, if you have any final thoughts for folks, if there's a way for people to get in touch with you, if you have any asks of our community, anything you want to invite them to, we would love to get your last couple snippets here.
Absolutely. I am always looking for new National Teen Board members. So if you know a high school student who has a terrific voice and who wants to be a part of a movement to create belonging across the nation, please send them to me. And by the way, they don't have to be extroverts. I love a good introvert. I love different ways of approaching a story. I love how we can incorporate as many voices onto the National Teen Board so we can cover that wide spectrum of experiences. But I'm just looking for big-hearted young people who really want to make a change in their world. So you can access us through the Beyond Differences website at beyonddifferences.org. If you go under youth leadership, you can learn all about the National Teen Board. You can read stories, you can access lessons, and more importantly, the application to be on the National Teen Board is there. So please take a look at it. There is a guide to it. There is question and answers. Also, you can apply in many different ways. If you are somebody who is writing is not your thing, we can do it verbally, and I will make an appointment and we can do that application that way. You can also do it artistically. We've had beautiful applications come in as pieces of art. I'm looking for the story, and I'm looking for wonderful young people who want to change this world.
Thank you, Sally. I'm so excited that you have found so many wonderful young people who do want to change the world already and that they're already doing this work. And it is such an honor and a privilege to get to do this work alongside you and witness y'all doing this work. So thank you so much for your time today. We super appreciate you and everything you and the National Team Board do. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I love to be here. Go out, tell your story, share your story, listen to one, because that's what connects us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sally.